everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and for the 6th month in a row, the S&P 500 making monthly gains. Absolutely fantastic. AI taking over, the Nvidia hysteria pushing past $5 trillion market cap. They say it's worth 2 Canadas. One company? Congratulations, Jensen Huang. Now, earnings were a big factor in last week's. We had 5 of the Magnificent 7 report last week. What do we have cooking this week? 1,808 companies reporting this week. Let's dive in. It starts off on Monday with probably the biggest name of the week. That would be Palantir, PLTR. You got Vertex Pharmaceuticals and Simon Property Group. Tuesday is a pretty full day as well. You've got AMD, Shopify, Uber, Arista Networks, Amgen, Pfizer, and Spotify. Wednesday brings you Toyota Motors, Novo Nordisk, McDonald's, Apple, Qualcomm, ARM, and Hood. All of those are actually those are pretty big names. I would watch out for the Hood, the ARM, the Qualcomm, and App, which had that pretty big sell-off several weeks ago. Thursday, we've got AstraZeneca and ConocoPhillips. And finally, on Friday, you've got Berkshire Hathaway, Constellation Energy, and Duke Energy as well. So that is your earnings calendar for the week. And again, some big names in there. Now, we know that we still have this government shutdown going on, and who knows when this is going to end. It's turning into a political soap opera, and all of you that are watching this should be very upset with your politicians. Honestly, I don't think they should be getting paid at all until this is resolved. But bottom line is, we have to suffer through this uncertainty with regards to data. Now, why do I say that? Because this week we've got a ton of jobs data. That's right, it's the employment week. That first week of the month, always we get some really key points of data, but most of it's going to be tentative at best. All right, everything in italics here is a tentative announcement. You see, I start things off with the JOLTS job openings. That's in italics because that may come out on Tuesday. It's slated to come out for Tuesday if the government opens back up. Right now, we are still closed. Moving on to Wednesday, you have the ADP non-farm employment change. Now, that is not a government report, so that one will come out Wednesday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, back to the italicized ones here. You have the unemployment claims. That's expected to be Thursday. And then the big daddy, which we haven't seen for a month, is the unemployment rate, which will be Friday at 8:30. Again, those are all in italics government reports, which means until government opens up, we're probably not going to get that data. So that creates a little bit of uncertainty for our financial markets. As this window or eye into the markets, which is data, seems to be obscured because of a lack of data, it creates more uncertainty, right? We really don't know the true facts behind the economy, and hopefully we'll get some resolution to that soon. Now, the United States, of course, last week came out with a 25 basis point cut, and Jerome Powell did hint that maybe we're not going to get another rate cut in December. Time will tell, and of course we've got economic data which will maybe steer that decision. What I do know is we have multiple rate announcements happening this week. We'll start things off in the southern hemisphere, our neighbors to the south, if you will. That's going to be the Reserve Bank of Australia. Right now, the expectation is they're going to stay right at 3.6%. They've been there for a while, and we'll see if that continues. Now, it's going to be Monday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so if you are trading the Australian dollar versus any other currency pair, be prepared for that. You will expect some volatility at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we can shift forward to across the pond the other way. We're going to the east, I guess the east or west, depending on which part of the United States that you're on. That's the Bank of England. Right now, they are at 4%, and the expectations are we are going to stay at 4%. That announcement happens Thursday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you are trading the British pound or you are trading the Australian dollar, just know at those times there is a high probability that volatility will surge and you're going to get a lot more price movement. And that, my friends, is it for your announcements for the week. Not a lot of really heavy-hitting stuff here. Obviously, if you're trading Forex, as you see on your screen, if you're trading that Australian dollar or the British pound, that could be pretty impactful. You got some pretty big earnings. Monday, I think, is probably the best day for earnings because of Palantir and kind of that AI association with Palantir, and of course that jobs data. Really the one that I'm looking forward to the most would be that unemployment rate on Friday, because that's what Jerome Powell has been looking at, but we don't have that data quite yet. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.